So we've had some reasonable progress. I've got my two blocks bonded into place. We'll come back to those in a second. You can see that I have made a fiberglass repair over all the holes that go through the firewall. So originally there would have been two holes, one for the wiring loom and one for the speedo cable and oil pressure capillary, and there were at least two extra holes made there that I've patched all of them in because what I want to do is well, when we put the plywood in, the fit is different. I'm not going to have any stuff going through here. The speedo cable can in fact enter at this point. That's a little dip down that the wiring loom used to make, allowing the console to fit flush, but it can in fact dive down and run between the chassis and the body. Same with the capillary, and then the wiring loom will run along the passenger side sill and through the bulkhead over there. And on this side we had the handbrake cables, and this is the other fiberglass repair I've ended up having to do. Was, you can see here, this is the handbrake bracket, which was it's got quite a lot of rust from where it's been sitting against the tunnel, and this is also, behind here is the seatbelt reinforcement plate with two screws here, one here and one right back here. This the head of this bolt was very rusty, and getting hold of it to get it out was quite a challenge, but it did quite happily unscrew. So did the one in this hole. This one of course sheared off, and I then had the challenge of removing it, which, as you can see, went really rather well. So that's all done. I'm not usually a fan of stainless steel bolts replacing high tensile, but in this situation, you know, they're clamping fiberglass, so they're not a high tensile application, so they will be replaced with stainless. In tidying up this area, I discovered that this area just here was very, very thin, and it broke through to the expanding foam that's in this rear section. So I ended up, that's partly why I took the handbrake bracket off, was to gain access in here, get everything ground back and prepped. And then there's 4 layers of mat put on there. Everything was feathered out, and I'm happy with that as a repair. It did mean I then had to do a little more fettling on the plywood, but the main job was bonding on these plywood blocks. So I mixed up 50 grams of resin, catalyzed it, and then added 10 grams of 6mm chopped strands. 3mm would have been better. I would have been able to use it more as a filling paste. It would have allowed me to do nice fillets, but you know, this is a structural repair, not a cosmetic one, so that's absolutely fine. And I also added 1 gram of fumed silica to thicken the resin up. That made a really good bonding paste. I put the body mounting bolts through with a bit of plastic sleeving around the bolts to stop them bonding, and also to help center the blocks, and then just tightened it all down using a a long reach 17mm socket to get some grip on the nut. I just tighten them down hand tight, getting a nice amount of the bonding paste squishing out, getting a really good contact between the block and the fiberglass. So having done that, I was then fitting the plywood bulkhead in place and seeing how it fitted, and you can see on the far side that I have had to work on that block because there is actually a nearly 2-degree difference in the angle at which these two blocks sit. So that one got that 2 degrees taken off it, so the plywood now sits across both very nicely, and the angle is still not right for the plywood to sit all the way back at the bottom, but in fact it can be flexed into place, and rather than spend more time shaping these blocks, that's what I'm going to do. And we'll put the bulkhead in place and clamp it up and see exactly what that fit looks like. So with everything clamped up, nice and flush against the blocks, that again will be done with more bonding paste. Got to transfer the bolt holes across, but it is got this sprung out at the bottom, and you know, it's very little effort to push it into alignment. So rather than trying to get the angle on the upper blocks perfect, what I shall do is I'll just wedge this in place whilst it's being bonded. Similar amount of spring, you know, light finger pressure is all it's taking. So I'm very happy with that, and particularly across the top of the tunnel here, the plywood is much deeper than the factory original, so it's better fitting to the shell. It'll make it a little bit stronger, possibly a little bit stiffer. I'm not having the holes through for all the wiring limb, etc. That'll be down in this corner here for the wiring on this side, and similarly 2 holes, which was factory arrangement, for handbrake cables on that side. So I've slightly lost track of where I got to in terms of video footage, but I now have the lower section bonded to the spacer blocks. Oh. So you can see in there both sides, that's worked out really well. These panels, it's a little bit tight here. I resined the edge after getting the clearances, and it just ended up a bit tight, so that'll tap back, no problem at all. Can get this sprung a little bit further back into pretty much where it was originally. Same on the other side. Trying not to step on the window frame. So this side will just get wedged in position when it gets bonded. I've got a bit of box section tubing to clamp across the top edge just to stop this top edge going out of line as I flex the bottom, and so that'll be the next bit of work. I need to clear out the bolt holes where the bonding paste got squished through. This time I put tape around the masking tape around the bolts, put them through the other way, and they'll just need drilling back out to clearance. So I've got the first section of bonding done, across the bottom, up the side and across the top of each half, and the next sections I'll be doing are on the back of the panel. So we got this inside corner, and I've got some polythene packing foam to help support the fiberglass to bridge the gap on this big radius up against the panel. I'm going to do across the bottom and up the side from the sill up towards the top of the ply. Now this inside corner, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-wet the fiberglass. The little bits here where there's a gap between the ply and the fiberglass, these wetted out okay over that short distance, but trying to wet unsupported fiberglass properly is not the easiest thing to do, and you know, I wanted to keep this as flat as possible to transfer the load rather than getting pushed in. It's a little bit pushed in there, but overall it's better than the original. But by pre-wetting out, I've got the pieces already cut here. By pre-wetting it on some plastic film, then I don't have to worry about getting it saturated. I can just wet the fiberglass, wet the plywood, and then mould it into shape and press it in. So that'll be the next sections that I tackle. So I actually ended up doing these inner corners in two different ways. This is the one where I just painted resin on the surfaces and then laid the fiberglass in dry and wetted it through, and it came out fine. It's also bonded right down in that bottom corner and up on this side. Both sides, these narrower strips which aren't bridging the gap, I did by placing them in dry and then wetting them through. On the other side, this was the one that I did by wetting it out on a piece of plastic film, and that actually worked pretty well. It was probably overall easier. The problem was that I couldn't lift the wet chop strand mat off the plastic. I think if you were doing a woven cloth, that would be trivial. So what I ended up having to do was to cut the plastic film down to the size of the matting, and that actually made it easier to handle. And I placed it in wet. Again, all the same stuff this side, but overall both sides have come out satisfactory, no problems. And you can see that I have the mid panel in for a trial fitting. Had to do a little bit more trimming. I've got to make some little reliefs around the body mounting bolts, and the next panel to go in is in fact the upper panel, which means I've got to sort out fitting the screen frame to it beforehand.